Okay, let me call to order the Capital Outlay Committee meeting for July the 11th. Roll call, Ms. Cindy.
Ms. Richards?
Present.
Mr. Toller?
Present.
Ms. Abrams?
Here.
Mr. Westmoreland?
Present.
Mr. Duncan? Mr. Anthony?
Here.
Mr. Moore? Mr. Piazza?
Here.
Ms. Dominguez?
Present.
All right, first item, consider approval of the low quote for the Ponchatoula High School Choir Band Room Flooring System Carpet Removal and Replacement by Douglas Flooring in the amount of $31,489.16. Mr. Valaruta.
Yes, sir. These are repairs from IDA. This is insurance money that we're using to make these repairs for.
Okay, do I hear that in the form of a motion?
Move to adopt.
Motion made by Mr.
Second.
Westmoreland, seconded by Ms. Dominguez. Questions? Public input? None? Okay, call for a vote.
Voting is open.
Yes for Tom, while I'm still trying to log in.
I read quotes out there.
Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you. Item 2A, consider approval of change order number 2 for Hammond High Magnet School Classroom Project to repair and install an awning and to add 90 days for the amount of $91,322.97. Mr. Valaruta.
As a change order to repair the awning at Hammond High School. We're changing that to 45 days. Yes. Yeah, that was a recommendation to change the number of days.
So change the verbiage from 90 to 45?
Is that all you're wanting to change?
First, let me get a motion and get it on the floor.
Okay, I'll make a motion.
A motion, second by Mr. Westmoreland. I've got several questions, and I think I've talked to Mr. Valaruta today, and I've talked to Mr. Bankston. A lot of things come up, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around this idea of being a change order. Change order is typically something that's unforeseen in construction that benefits the owner, and I know this benefits us, but I'm having a hard time with the idea that this is unforeseen. We knew that the canopy was going to go back up. I know it was Hurricane Ida damaged part of it, but by doing it as a change order, this is, and I'm just speaking my mind because y'all know I do that, without having comparable quotes. That's my issue.
Yeah.
With a change order, we've got one price here, and this is the price that we're giving, plus we're going to have a 8 or 10% contractor markup on top of this, plus the architect fees go up because the project price goes up. And that's what I'm really struggling with. I'm not saying I'm against it, I'm not saying I'm for it, I'm just really would love to have some comparable quotes.
Mr. Brennan, can I ask a question as well to Mr. Terry? Mr. Terry, why is this actually being defined as a change order instead of having the 3-bid process that we've been agreeing on for the last 3 months?
This is an older change order that surfaced before I was here, and it's coming back around again.
So this initiated, I think, a year ago. We've been in the process of trying to get handled. I reached out to Mr. Bankston and asked him, would you check the prices on it? Would you, and so you want to talk what the process was and what your recommendation was to us, and that's what we're following.
Yes, sir. So at the time, when this came up, the school board was handling all canopy items. Mr. Frank, superintendent was on board at the time, and initially reached out to Manzone just to kind of do, I guess, a separate project. And then Frank and I talked, and we said, look, we already have a canopy guy on the job right here. We could probably change order him the job and go ahead and get it quick. Because I think the thing was that they were trying to get all the items done quick. So I was like, yeah, we can do that. Frank, already purchased, or excuse me, they already got with a guy, got a number, so we put together a CPR to give to Frank. They gave it to us. I turned around, gave it to Frank, and said, here, this is the number. And he looked at it, and I think a few days later, or a week later, whatever, he emails me back and says, hey, I don't think I can do this now, get 3 quotes. And then from there, I think that was right about there was some confusion as to whether Frankie or the Anselms had actually been given approval from Blueprint, which I had no idea. I don't know if they did or didn't. I said, well, I don't know what to do with this. So just kind of went flat. And then, of course, there was time frame before we got anybody who could really deal with it to talk about it. Well, it finally came back around. And at this time, I know Terry and I talked about going out and maybe getting some prices. But if you're trying to get it, I guess if you're trying to get it quicker rather than later, this company apparently already has the materials on site, or they have them at their warehouse, and then go and get started. So
Mr. President.
spoke with Mr. Anzalone, and he's like, I already had it. He goes, I was under the impression that we were going to do it. He goes, I was just trying to push it and convert it. I said, I don't have any of that documentation, but I mean, that's.
What's the square footage that we're talking about?
I think,
I know, Tom, we have used all-state canopies a lot over the years.
Well,
mean,
and that's the point.
I'll have-
Right.
I'll have-
Familiar with us?
but,
And so my problem is not that we're using this company or that it's, my problem is a change order is something like Tom says that is supposed to be something that is emergency that needs to be done right now in order for a school to operate or something that's being put into change. This is something, and again, I can't make comments of prior dealings years ago. I wasn't here for that. But what I can say as somebody on a capital outlay is 3 quotes keeps everything even, keeps everything honest, and keeps everything transparent. And now, if this was something that was an emergency, that, hey, we got to open the school in a few weeks, and this is what's stopping us, and we need it done like tomorrow, okay, well, that's a change order. This just seems a little, 31,000 may be the right price, but I won't know until I see 3 quotes.
Is,
we did ask around and check the projects. Typically, you do a new project, it's anywhere between $40 to $50 a square foot or whatever. I think this one ended up being like 21 or 20 something dollars a square foot. And for what they're doing is not replacing our columns, the steel columns are there pretty much for life. I mean, they need to be probably sandblasting and cleaned up and stuff, but they're going back and fixing certain sections out and going back to the extruder line. It's probably a little stronger than it had out there, and I think that was probably
Well, my thing is, if he's agreeing to 31,000 and we get other quotes and he's still cheaper, I don't see the problem there, but at least let us get some quotes back and take a look at that to see if he's comparable. I mean, that's just my suggestion, but.
The,
my question is this covered by insurance?
Insurance.
Is something that we've already been paid for the damages from Ida? Insurance?
It is IDA.
Okay.
which brings back my next point, because I've said this to them and I'll say it again. At Sumner Middle, we lost the canopy during Hurricane Ida. I've been patiently waiting, maybe not patiently, but I've been waiting. I've been complaining about this for a year and a half. Well, here we are now receiving a change order for $100,000 for a project down here for somebody, for another school, which I support other schools, but I'm still waiting on the canopy up there. And
Right.
to go back to your point about we use Allstate, we do, and they're a great company, but they will also work for us and not necessarily have to go through the change order. So I'm not advocating either way. I mean, I want the board to make their decision. I guess I'd ask this: what would it slow down in the process if we did go out and got additional bids right now?
for the Ham and I project.
Yeah, how long would that take us to get 2 other quotes?
Nothing. I mean, nothing. We can put that out and get those. If we're gonna go back with the way it was, I mean, we pretty much got documents how we can try to turn around and get quotes on.
We're talking a week, 2 days, 3 days, time frame?
Are they gonna be able to see this, that
Couple weeks.
the new vendors are gonna be able to see these quotes and undercut them?
Yeah.
They ain't a really competitive
Right.
bidding at that time.
That only benefits us.
Yeah, but it's not really fair to the two people that have already given them quotes.
Well, I mean, you ain't supposed to see it if you're doing
This is a change.
competitive
We give
bidding.
a quote.
Yes.
And when I,
bid the whole thing over again.
when I originally read this, I was assuming it was to add awnings around the classroom addition. Is that the case for this? This is all over campus.
This is existing, yeah, this is over by the ROTC, this is Ida,
Damn.
which is why it wasn't
Okay.
in the original fund.
Gotcha. All right, and y'all said it's insurance money is compensating us for this? All right, have we already received those funds, or we'll get them after we make the repairs?
We have.
Okay.
Well, okay, so my question is, we received money for this, so this was a part of the original estimate. I mean, it had to be a part of the estimate that the insurance company paid for it. So why are we just now coming to ask for the amendment, for the additional funding? What was different now than during the original estimate?
I think I can answer that, Mr. Moore, because instead of it being a project that we were doing in-house, it was tied into the construction, since the construction company was already there working on the project. And I think all the intentions were good. The muddy water that I have, or the problems that I have, is just the fact of not having comparable quotes. And if we're not in a hurry, not that we're not in a hurry, school's about to start. Yes, I mean, if this was a front door or something that we could not open that school with, that would be a different thing. But we're dealing with canopies. Other schools are still waiting for canopies. I'm not opposed to slowing this process down, even though I know it's been slow to y'all, Mr. Bankston, and I appreciate that. I'm not opposed to getting the 3 quotes and coming back to us, and if we're in the same ballpark, then let's move forward with a change order.
I have to agree with Glenn, though. If we bid it again, they've already seen what this price is.
Well, their price may be different if they know they're bidding. That's the
Yeah.
point. When you have a spirit of competition, their price may be different when it comes back. Anyway, what's the wishes of the board?
Question?
Any other questions been called for? Did I hear that?
Yes.
Okay, questions been called for.
Voting is open.
I'm joining right now.
Voting is closed. Motion fails with Mr. Piazza, Ms. Richards, Mr. Moore, Ms. Abrams, and Mr. Toller voting no.
All right.
So can we go ahead and put it out for bids?
All right, item B. Consider approval of low quote for the Hammond High Magnet School's bus drive repair by Steve Kinchin Construction, the amount of $44,770. Once again, Mr. Valaruta.
Yes, sir. A pothole in the in the bus drive at Hammond High School developed during the school year. It's rather large, so during the school year, where maintenance dug it out, put some crushed rock in it until it was summertime, so that we can get this hole properly repaired. So it is in the route for the bus lane, and that's why this quote is here tonight.
Motion to adopt.
Okay, motion to adopt, second by Mr. Piazza. Any questions? Mr. Piazza? I looked at the square footage in it. It's a good price.
Thank you.
Agree.
Any other questions, comments? Any public input? Hearing none, call for a vote.
Voting is open.
Sorry, I need to change my vote. Hit the wrong button. I got fat fingers. Yes for Tom.
Oh, it won't let me. It won't let me change it. You have to change it, Mr. Toller.
I have to join. Okay, hold on.
Top right.
Get some white out.
I can remove the votes and have everybody vote again.
Oh, right there in the red where it says change vote.
Yeah, right there.
Where's your son?
You need a bigger
screen? You need some reading glasses?
I appreciate y'all's help. Thank y'all.
If it helps.
Voting
I
is
know
closed. Motion passes unanimously.
Is there anything else to be brought before capital outlay?
Not tonight.
May I say one thing real quick, or ask a question?
Maybe.
I think it's pretty relevant. Going back to A, I mean, so that failed. So do we understand what direction is now? And y'all are gonna go out and get the quotes?
We're
or do
going to
we
go out
need
and get 3 quotes.
So there's nothing that we have to do as a board to
Correct.
allow you to do that? Okay,
Correct.
just making sure. I mean, it's so,
And then
I
on
know
the-
how hard it is to get things done, and I hate that there's a potential delay, although I do agree with it, but.
And then the project can still complete on time, right? Substantial completion can still
Oh, yeah.
happen, all that, this won't
Yeah.
stop any of that.
Yeah, the 2-story classroom addition will complete on.
Anything else? Hearing nothing, meeting adjourned.